Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, Homestead in the Desert. And what we're looking at here, before I do that, let me tell you, it is March 19th, 2020. And what you're looking at here is my cell phone carrier sent me a new web booster, or a web boost, or a wee boost, or however you want to pronounce it. And this one is for outdoors. And it works with all carriers apparently, but I think they've got this one set up just to work with my carrier. And I will tell you who my carrier is after we get this whole thing settled and they decide how much they've done for me. I can't tell you. They've been working on this thing very hard to get me settled out here. I really appreciate that. That is what I call service, and you don't get service like that everywhere. So I'm hoping that they can solve this, because I'd like to do a special episode telling you all about who my carrier is and what they've done for me. But hey, let's get on with this, okay? Look at this. This is the multi-user 3, 4, and 4G LTE, 1,500 square foot room size. It's got a panel type antenna with a max gain of 60 decibel, and its use is stationary. So this is the box it came in, and surprisingly enough, yesterday I saw a FedEx truck pull up to my driveway out there, and I says, "Huh, what the heck's he?" He was looking around like, "Well, this must be the place." So I went out there to see what was going on, and I says, "Who are you looking for?" And he called out my name, and I said, "That's me." And I was kind of curious, because I didn't expect anything to be delivered to me, especially out here, because I don't really have an address out here. And there is no actual address for this place. It's so far remote that I do not have an address, and I don't get mail here. But I did put a mailbox up at the end of my driveway that a customer of mine had given me, and just for the heck of it, I put a number on it, and I just just playing the game like, hey, this is my place, and I got a mailbox. But there's no mail delivery out here. I have to go 18, 19 miles round trip to get my mail. Pretty interesting. So this guy pulls up there and he hands me this box, and I come in here, and sure enough, it was this booster. And this is what was in the box. This is the outside antenna. This is the booster. This is the inside antenna. And here's the hardware for mounting it on a pole or on a wall or whatever. They gave me two sets of coax cable so I can get plenty of distance. And in this bag, there's a union right there where I can join the two wires together to get extra length. And then this little piece here, this is if you don't want to drill a hole in your wall, you can put this through a window. It's a flat piece that goes right through the window, and you can close the window on it. So that's what they gave me. Now on this whole thing, they have the steps written right on here. Connect the inside antenna cable to the bottom of the Home 4G booster, right? So there's the booster. And you're going to connect the antenna cable to the bottom there. And then there's the antenna. Then this is the outside antenna, step 2A, and point it toward the nearest cell phone tower. To find the nearest tower, use an app such as Open Signal. So I just downloaded Open Signal, and strange enough, it was showing my nearest cell phone tower in that direction, and that's north of me. And I was saying, huh, that's weird, because on the last unit, it had me pointing it that way. Yeah, it's raining over there. So they had me pointing it that way, which is east. And I'm not getting the signal point towards east. I'm getting it pointing that way. That's weird. But then when I changed it to a different section of that same app, it was pointing it to the east, saying that that's where my tower is. Weird. I don't know. So I'm going to have to get somebody on the phone when I get set up. So I'm just going to go through the rest of this. So there's 2A, and then here's the 2B instructions. So you just follow these instructions, and then you go to number 3 and you run the coax cable, and then it shows you right here how to hook everything up, and then you plug in the power and you're all set. And it says that you need a distance, a specific distance between the 2 antennas, and you also need to have height and all of that. So I'm going to go outside now and show you what I've started on. And yeah, this rain is weird. It was coming right at me, and I got like a dozen sprinkles on my head, and that was it. It just bypassed me. Now there's rain falling over there. There's rain falling over there. There's rain falling over there. And there's lots of rain falling over there. And it all came right over me. But I got a few sprinkles. Amazing. All right. So this is what I'm thinking for this setup. Is I've got some conduit out here. And I got my bends over there and a couple of bends on this side. Got my glues all ready. And I'm going to trench out here. And then that's 20 feet out from the cabin right there. And then I'm going to go 20 feet in the air with this antenna. But that's because I thought I was going to be pointing it to the east. Now this thing is telling me to point it to the north. Well, if I'm going to point it to the north, that's not going to be a good place for it because it's going to be parallel with the inside antenna. They want them pointing in opposite directions. So actually, I would need to go out there beside my van area and put the tower up over there somewhere. Well, this isn't panning out right. So like I said, I'll have to get somebody on the phone and see what the story is with that and how to deal with it. But I'm glad I didn't dig and trench and get my pole ready to set over here, because that would have been a lot of work for nothing. So next, I did come out and I pulled the concrete base out of the ground completely. And how did I do that? By myself? Well, you see my little blocks there? You see my pipe here? You see the hook the J hook in the pipe right there? Well, I put the end of the pipe on top of that block. I hooked the hook through the eye bolt that's in the top of the concrete footing right there. And then I lifted it up and swiveled it over to one side and set it down. And I'll be able to put it back in the hole the same way. And I've doubled the size of this hole, so it's twice as big as it was. And I'm going to go a little bit bigger than that, but it started sprinkling, so I quit digging for a little while, because if it does rain, it's just going to fill the hole with water, so it'll be backpedaling. But I need to wash off all of the dirt that's on there, so I get a good stick to that. And this has got some nice lumps and balls sticking out and some hollows in it, so the new concrete should grab onto that pretty good, and it should become all in one. But I'm going to make this footing down here, when it goes back into concrete, it's going to be probably 350 to 400 pounds and buried completely in the ground with the mushroom head under the ground also. So that should be plenty to hold it down. Unless I get 100-mile-an-hour winds, and then, well, that'll be the last thing I have to worry about, is pulling up a footing. I'll see my turbine flying past me as it heads towards the direction the winds are blowing. All right, so what else did I do? Well, I need to get some pipes put together for the mast that antenna is going to go on, but I don't have enough pipe left here, so I got to go pick up some concrete anyway at Home Depot, so I'll pick up some more pipe, and then I'll work it from there. This is something I did. The black on this is that rubberized stuff they advertise on TV. I just dipped it in there, and I put tape around here so I could peel it off later and I'll have a straight thing. But it's got a non-slip rubber grip handle now. And what this is the handle, which is right here, was a plastic handle, and I was digging with it yesterday and it broke. And you can see it's just falling apart there. Well, that wasn't going to do, and there's nothing wrong with the spade part of this little shovel. So I took a piece of 3/4 inch EMT conduit, and I grinded the two ends down on it so they're not sharp. And then I pushed this thing in, and then I dimpled it here with a center punch, because there's a hole in the spade part of it, and by dimpling it, it can't slide back out again. And then I dipped it, I put the, on the back here, this is a PVC threaded cap, and it fit really tight on there. I actually had to tap it on with a hammer. So with that on there, and then the rubberized stuff over the top, and I'll dip this a couple more times, and I just put it out here to dry. So, but with the cap on there, it'll be just fine. And I made the handle a little bit longer than what it used to be, so I get a little bit more leverage on this thing, and it's comfortable to use now. So, hey, what the heck, you know? Don't throw things away, fix them. We're not in a wasteful society like all those people down in the grid section. This is off-grid. You got to make do with what you got, and whenever something breaks, you fix it. You don't throw it out and buy another one. You don't need 50,000 of one item. So anyway, that's where I'm going. And my neighbors from up the road were down here today visiting, and we were talking and so forth and so on and things like that. And we had some fun and a couple of laughs, and then they headed back up to the hill. They've got sunshine up there, and I've got clouds passing me by with really a lot of rain coming down over there. So that's pretty much all I got for today, everybody. Yeah, I had one of the metal brackets on my blue barrels up by the water tank broke. The metal bracket itself broke. So I don't know if it was from those heavy winds that came through here or what. Probably was. But I went up there, and I had to bring my jack up there and jack that up, and I put a block of wood fastened to the 4x4 leg to hold that one strut up so it's holding perfectly. Now over here I got the jack set up underneath the motorhome because this tire had gone flat, and you can see a bulge on it on the front side here because I rotated the tire. But when it went flat, of course, it broke off the rim. So I got to get it set back onto the rim. And by raising it up like this, it's allowing the tire to relax. And it's already looks like it's seated back on this side pretty much. Look at that. Yep. It's already relaxed and set a beat on there. So tomorrow when the weather's a little bit better, I'll come out here and fire up the air compressor, which is right inside my van, and I'll inflate that tire up about halfway, and then put some Fix-A-Flat in there, and then I rotate the tire for about 5 minutes to coat the whole inside of the tire and around the rim area with that Fix-A-Flat stuff. And that's what I did with the other side when it went flat, and did the same thing. And then it'll be fine, because that one I did a year and a half ago, and it's been holding fine ever since. All right, I got up and had to fix my I forgot that when I did the roof on this cabin, I didn't refasten my little solar panels down for my outdoor motion lights. So I had to get up there and pull it out because the wind had blown it into the gutter and flipped it over upside down. All right, that's it, everybody. G-Bear reminding you, give me a thumbs up down there, please. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I was going to start off this video by telling everybody it's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. This is G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways. It's free. It's free. It's free. Go ahead and subscribe. Don't worry, it won't cost you anything. So I'll do that at the beginning of my video next time, because I've noticed that some people don't watch the video all the way through. They've been averaging about 5 minutes of my videos, and this one's going on 14 and a half, 15 minutes. So they're missing the end of it. So I always put it at the end to please subscribe, and on my next video, I will put it in the beginning, so those people that haven't been hearing about how it's free to subscribe will get the word out. G-Bear signing off.